what the hell is wrong with Donald Trump? I mean, seriously, like it seems to have gotten worse. The New York Times even had an article today. Can you believe it? Questioning his cognitive skills, and we're seeing the decline. But from the Pope to wiping out Iran's civilization to saying, posting a picture of Jesus and doubling down on it, saying, I was supposed to be a Red Cross person. That's not Jesus. That's what he just said. What the F is going on, Rick?
Let me tell you, what's going on is that the great taboo of asking people in the media the question of, is Trump crazy, has been dismissed. It's over. They know it. It's
Right.
not deniable anymore. You can't like walk around it. It's not him trolling or playing 16-dimensional quantum string theory chess or any of that crap. It is just that Donald Trump um, has reached a point where the evil that he wants to do runs into the inability to cognitively perform at a level he needs to perform. Now, look, he's always been evil, and he's still going to stay evil. He doesn't get less evil because he gets senile. He probably gets more dangerous and more evil. But we're watching, I think, Dean, a real crack up inside of MAGA right now, in part because Trump can't keep them glued together like he once did.
Mm-hmm. And so what does that mean going to 2026? I don't think they're gonna vote Democrat, but do you think some stay home? That helps Democrats. So when you say a fraction, what are you looking at? What are you seeing?
Look, one of the things we do at the Lincoln Project and at Lincoln Project Advocacy is to, I'm going to say it, is you're not supposed to say this word. We want Republican voters, if they can't make the decision, we want them to be so disheartened they stay home.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to call that voter suppression, you can. I don't, but we call it flip it or skip it, right? You either vote for the Democrat or you just stay home. And we've gotten very good over the last 6 years of persuading a lot of those Republicans. We can pull a lot of them over the line, but
Mm-hmm.
we can't pull all of them. But right now, it's getting easier and easier to say to Republican voters, "Come on, really? This is your thing. This is the hill you want to die on." And increasingly, they're saying, "No, it is not." So we're in a really interesting moment because the morale of MAGA is at rock bottom.
Right.
The ones that still support Trump are the final dead enders. Okay, these guys are the last, the last of the last. They're the boat parade guys. They're the truck nuts guys. They're the flags on the back of the F-350 guys. There aren't as many of them as there used to be. They're not as passionate as they once were, and all those people in the Republican coalition, not the MAGA coalition, but the entire global Republican space, about a third of them now have just said, I'm done. I'm out. Fuck this. I'm not playing this game anymore.
I've had, and again, it's anecdotal though, but I've had listeners call my show who start the conversation now by saying, "I voted for Trump, but," and then it comes something else. And I'm on the progressive channel. You don't have to call me. Like I'm not a priest. I can't give you some kind of benediction and
Some
connection.
absolution.
Right. I'm sorry. But I'm glad. But I'm glad they're sharing it. And
Day four, hell Melania's.
that's very funny. So you've got. So you do. I hear that as well. It's kind of interesting that because usually I see the notes. It'll be like conservative. I'm like, here comes a fight, and they actually want to call and talk about what they're seeing and how and whatever it is that Trump has done. A lot for some. It's the Iran war. Look at Trump.
Sure.
He lost the war. He could spin and go, look, we finished in the top two. That's kind of good, right? But we didn't. That's the best he could do.
Yeah, listen, the war has been a really meaningful fracture. Epstein has been a meaningful fracture.
Mhm.
Um, none of this, um, none of this has been uh, anything but his own choosing.
Right.
He chose to cover up Epstein. He ordered Pam Bondi and Todd Blanche to cover up Epstein. He ordered Pam Bondi and Todd Blanche to move Ghislaine Maxwell to a cushy prison. He ordered Pete Hegseth and these guys go to war. All of these things have added up, and no one can blame anybody else. There's no secret person behind the curtain who makes Trump make terrible decisions. It's all Trump making terrible decisions. And so it is harder and harder for them to stick together. That glue is harder to pitch. The other part of this is that the economic impact of Trump's really bad decisions on tariffs
Mhm.
has hit hardest on the people that are Trump's core base. MAGA farmers, rural voters. Rural Americans voted about 75% for Donald Trump. little more actually, 77%. They are taking the hardest hit right in the face from the tariffs and the higher oil and gas prices. You saw a lot of workers in industrial plants and industrial areas of the country who back Trump, who have gotten screwed on the tariffs. You also see with the Iran war a fear rising inside the MAGA voter base that they understand. They know that Barron Trump is never coming home in a flag draped coffin. They know their kid will or could.
Right.
And they know that their kids are the ones who serve in the military, who fight these wars. Just as a lot of the MAGA men who are still pretty much sticking with Trump, a lot of those guys, they fought in Iraq, they fought in Afghanistan. This time, not long ago, a few years ago, and they are very embittered by it. And and you can't blame them. But when Trump said no more wars, they bought it.
Right.
They believed it. And greater fool every minute is is a reality, but it is also something that I think it's hard to get those people back once you lose them. It's hard to recover them once they're in the wind. It's hard to make them come home.
Right.
And this war, Epstein, the economy, tariffs, gas prices, inflation. I mean, the worst set of numbers Donald Trump has in any category. About 70% of Americans disapprove of Trump's handling of inflation and prices.
Right.
And Dean, the remarkable thing about that is the 70% who oppose it, about 60% of them strongly oppose it. They really hate it. They're really angry, and he's doing nothing to change that. When he was asked over the weekend, uh, are gas prices going to be lower or higher
Mhm.
about come election day? He was like, I hope they're lower. They could be higher, could be a lot higher. I don't know. Maybe they'll be the same. Huh. That is not the answer voters are looking for. That ain't it, boss.
That's not the leadership. Right. And so you're doing your work with Lincoln Project, you're talking to voters.
Yeah.
Look, there's something going on out there that now the data is starting to pick it up. Not the data, the opinion polls. For example, Friday, University of Michigan consumer confidence, the lowest, not just in the last year, the last 2 years on
Ever.
record, right? On
Yeah.
record. You don't see that in the economic data. You had CBS News poll over the weekend. Only 32% say the economy is good. Almost 2/3 say the economy is bad. There's something out in the world out there that is really ugly and dark. And I don't see it in the data because they're not telling us real unemployment numbers. We're not seeing real CPI numbers. What can you share about what the economy is really like?
Look, voters believe the economy is terrible for a reason. And that is that a grocery bill, when you're standing there at the counter, is unspinnable.
Yeah.
The price of gas at that pump is unspinnable. You can't wake up in the morning and say, oh, I love Donald Trump, therefore this gas costs $2 a gallon rather than 5. You can't say, wow, this grocery bill that used to be 75 bucks is now 200 bucks, and I love Donald Trump so much it really is 75 bucks. The big libs at big grocery are lying to me. It doesn't work that way. Nobody can live that way.